Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Henry Ford. Do you notice the one thing that all these great men have in common? Perseverance. If there's one defining factor, it's the fact that they refused to give up. And hence, they made it. I encourage you, don't give up. Stick with it. You can do this. All we ask, 10 to 15 minutes every day. Sorry we're coming to you so late today. I was in the air on an international flight starting at about 3:45, and I've just now gotten to my hotel. I couldn't get adequate service at the airport to do the program there about an hour ago, so I just headed on here, and it's coming right now. Thank you for your patience. Patreon members, by the way, I did load up before my flight your 20 weekly vertical crossovers, 19 up, 1 down. Check it out. If all else fails, you can go to the Patreon page, and we always have it there for our Patreon members. Hope you'll find some things to practice trade tomorrow. We see stocks are up, bonds and gold down, Bitcoin down. Let's look first at the S&P 500, down 0.28% for the day. We have a green up candle that's been forming. Price percent oscillator getting close. Is it going to cross over going up? It is just barely right now, but look at this derivative oscillator, still very negative. That is a problem, particularly with how things, have been going and popping up a little bit, then rolling back over, moving down, sliding sideways, popping up. So we will watch that, not saying for you not to potentially jump into a practice trade, but the fact that the derivative oscillator, our leading indicators, not crossing over, that's a potential problem. We see on the price percent oscillator on the 2-day chart for this Wednesday, Thursday candle, the previous high, 478.81, 479, so it's up, what is that, 9 cents. So again, that is all right if we want to look at that as going a little bit higher, 19 cents rather, not 9 cents. Price percent oscillator pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillator has gone green on that second candle. So again, moving up a little bit more. Look at the half day. It's just been dragging along, popped up in the morning, then down in the afternoon. Below the half day trend line is above both the weekly and the 2-day. So we'll keep an eye on things and see how the market shapes up. It's a big booming day tomorrow. Then, of course, that could give you a good reason for potentially jumping in. What about the Nasdaq 100? Even though we have a green up candle, don't have a price percent oscillator crossover. Derivative oscillator still gaining downward momentum. 2-day, it did end up at the end. Yes, it crossed over, so we will go ahead and note that. We will move our 2-day recross line, I'm sorry, not 2-day recross, 2-day crossover line, vertical crossover, of course, what we call that, and we will adjust the arrow accordingly. And again, we will also adjust our trend line. Gives us a quick visual as to what is going on there. Look at the half day. What do we see there? Again, we can see where it's trailing along sideways at the end of the day, red spinning top. Price is above the 2-day, and of course the weekly is still down. So again, we've got some conflicting signals here. So again, don't have anything at this point to trade with the cues. We'll continue to watch, wait, and see. So again, with stocks, we'll be watching to see if there's a weekly vertical crossover into the day on Friday for the S&P 500, with the caveat we're concerned about the derivative oscillator being so negative still. What do we see going on with 20-year bonds? Up for the day, 0.84%, our biggest upper, but a red down candle forming for the week and a crossover underway. We've been talking about that. Now, again, it is not red yet, the derivative oscillator on this weekly vertical crossover. We would like to see the price percent oscillator and the derivative oscillator going in the same direction with a crossover. We do see considerable weakness in this candle and in the price percent oscillator. So that being said, nonetheless, up for the day, 0.84%. Pay close attention to how things are tomorrow. Look at the 2-day. Again, still a down candle, even though up for the day, pushing through that 50-period moving average line and heading down. Price percent oscillator heading down, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. So again, that gives us a little bit of comfort. What about the half day? We can see where things really push down on Wednesday and then moving back up some on Thursday. So again, pay attention, see how this looks toward the close of the day on Friday, and if it gives you an opportunity to potentially jump into either a put, practice trade, or an inverse fund. I'm going to put our teaching on inverse funds at the end of today's video, so you can take that. In fact, TBF, if memory serves me correct, that is the ProShare short of the 20-year bond fund, TLT. And you notice it moves in the opposite direction. It is a short fund. So again, the opposite of TLT, single short, something for you to potentially look at if you're ever interested in those. Of course, the first thing to do is make sure you practice trade them, understand how they work. Fees are higher. They are not the same price. They are set up to move at the same percentage. But again, those are recalculated each day. That can have a big effect on you. So again, a lot to learn about inverse funds. Take that training at the end of today's video. It should help you understand. Now, let's move on to gold. What is gold up to on this weekly chart? Pulling away from the red signal line. We have a green up candle, little wick on the bottom, wick on the top. Prices above that weekly trend line and pushing above the 2-day. We look at the 2-day. 2-day is pulling away as far as the price percent oscillator goes, but this latest move we have on the 2-day is a doji, lots of indecision. Again, falling through that prior 2-day trend line, which connected at least 3 of those 2-day candles. Price percent oscillator still going up, derivative oscillator still going up. Look at this half day. We can see where gold lost a lot of energy starting in the afternoon on Tuesday and then Wednesday morning, and has then started over again to start gaining it back. So important to pay close attention to what we see going on here on gold. I'm hoping gold is just going to take off and just keep on moving up. And again, we want to see gold continue to do that. We talked about the jumping in point with that 2-day recross. And again, that got a little weird on us because we had that short 1-day, 2-day candle last week since the market wasn't open on Christmas Eve. That Thursday candle was just the Thursday candle. The next candle was the Monday, Tuesday. So again, after that potential jumping in point, gold has lost some of its luster. We'll see if it gains that back. Lastly, we go to Bitcoin, down again, friends, 1.29%. What do we see going on? Well, nonetheless, Bitcoin is not pushed through this 50-period moving average. Good to see. But that price percent oscillator still going down, derivative oscillator still gaining downward momentum. Have a doji for the week. That's lots of indecision. It's green, so tending up. But look at this latest 2-day candle where it just after, again, 3 days of up movement, we see it just rotate over 2 days of down movement. And again, we're still pegged down on both the weekly and the 2-day. And that 2-day that was flat is now heading down again on the price percent oscillator. Derivative oscillator still losing downward momentum. Check out the half day, down, down, down. 3 days of strong down movement. And of course, crossing over in the afternoon on the price percent oscillator, going down on Bitcoin. So that is where we are. Still lots of downward pressure on Bitcoin. We have the potential for a crossover going up on the weekly chart on the S&P 500. And of course, 20-year government bonds crossover going down. That's where we are, folks. Appreciate you being with us. Again, sorry for being so late tonight, but I couldn't record this thing in the air. I wish I could have. I would have done it for you. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.